Hey, gun people, let's talk about bang bang, pow pow, pew pew.
Name that bullet. What is that? Well, shit. Let me zoom out a little bit, see if somebody can fill that out. Oh, what is that bullet? Is that a 5.56? Is that a 2.23? Is that 3.270? What is that? 30-06? What kind of bullet is that? Come on, people, pull your head out. Anybody got it yet? Oh, man, you people suck. You can't figure out what bullet it is? I know, they all look alike. Oh, shit, I don't think I can say that. Somebody come here flagging me. Oh, bullets don't look alike. Special bullets matter. Oh, here we go. All right, so these are 300 Blackout. And I was really, really reluctant on getting a 300 Blackout. So, I want to talk about it because I didn't want to buy another stinking gun since I lost all my other ones in the big boating accident of 2017. So, I guess I'm kind of off camera here, which I really don't really care. I don't need to see my face. Alright, I'm in the camera, shit. So, if you need to hang a gun, I've said this before, if you've got a strap that you strap your gun and you can hang a strap on a good hanger or two hangers, you can put them underneath a suit jacket or whatever and then hang it in your closet. So if a criminal comes in, unless he actually feels all your clothes, he's not going to know there's a gun in there. It's easy access for you, good place to hide it. I just had this barrel hanging in the closet and I pulled it out because it's my 300 barrel that I just got and picked it up used, and I said, all right, I don't need another gun, but I will buy a barrel if I can get a nice barrel for 300 bucks with a rail. So basically, most people know that 300 Blackout is the same as the AR 5.56. They use the same platform, which is really handy. It shoots a bigger bullet. I don't know if I got a 5.56 bullet in here or not. What I got here? I think this might be a 5.56. What the hell is that one? Hell, that one don't look like 5.56. This is an AK round. All right, so let's look at these three bullets here. Hopefully there's a little light in here you can see these. So, 300 Blackout is here. 5.56 is here. And the AK's in the middle. So, let's put them in kind of weight category. So this one is a 5.56, probably 55, 62 grain. This one is 120 grain, I think. It might go up. What was the other one? I bought two different styles. One was 120, I think. 150 grain and 200 grain. So the red tip is 200. This is a 150. So 150 grain, 200. So the Blackout, let's get rid of the AK round here in a second because pretty much I think they're about the same height. Let me set them down here and see if they're the same height. Yeah, pretty close. Can y'all see that? So if you set, so the 5.56 is the first one, 300 is the next one, 300 is the third one, and the last one's an AK round. And you notice the AK is kind of a fatty. Got a little more power. So the Blackout round is the same casing as the 5.56. The only difference is the neck is bigger. So they cut it down. You see how much shorter it is? So they've cut it down to about where the ring is right there. And then they've necked it up so it'll take the bigger 30 caliber bullet. So a 300 Blackout, and most of your 300, 30-30s, 308, 30-06, all your 30s are pretty much your 30 caliber. AK is a 30 caliber, 7.62, those are all your 30 caliber. So by necking this 5.56 round down, I can have it fit a bigger bullet and a heavier bullet. Well, if you've been watching the videos about weight and speed and all that, you know that if a bullet's heavier, you either need more power and more pressure and more powder to push it. Otherwise, gravity is going to affect a heavier bullet quicker than it will a lighter bullet. So a heavier bullet will slow down faster and usually drop faster than a lighter bullet, unless you put so much pressure behind it that it's hauling butt and then gravity doesn't take effect on it until a long distance. So the 300 round, the 2 rounds in the middle, or the 300, they both will fire out of the 5.56, same gun. The only difference is the barrel has to be bigger in order to fire the gun, which is why I got a top. People will call it the upper receiver, the upper part of an AR, M4, M16, whatever you want to call it. So you buy a barrel that's, chambered for 300, and now all I need to do is take off my upper on any of my ARs and slide this upper on it, and I can shoot the 300 Blackout. Now, in Texas, a lot of the pig hunters like 300 Blackout because it's a heavier bullet, it's a bigger round bullet. Bigger is better, heavier is better. It is not as fast as a 5.56 because you're pushing heavier weight and you're still got about the same amount of powder in there. Now I know that the loaders are going to be, well, you can put faster burning powder and you can put this kind of powder in special and you can make it hotter than a 5. I get it. It's all, I'm just giving for the basic info. The 300 Blackout is a 5.56 round that has a bigger neck and a bigger 30 caliber bullet. And it shoots out of a 30 caliber barrel, which is the upper. But it loads in the same magazine as your 5.56. You can take your brass from your 5.56, and if you have the equipment, you can make them all 300 brass and then load 300 in it. So it's kind of variable round, and it's handy. But like all tools in a toolbox, they all have their purpose. So let me turn this. Somebody's gonna think I'm doing a Pledge commercial. This is just for my wood grips. Sometimes I clean them. Don't want somebody getting free advertised. I don't care. Shit, if Pledge wants to come here, see, use this Pledge. Shut up, big dumb. All right, so the barrel there that I'm going to put on there, obviously, will shoot my 300 Blackout. So here's the advantages to the 300 Blackout. Because on the heavier bullet, because the heavier bullet is going to take more power to push it, and it's going to slow down faster. The heavier bullet is slower than the lighter bullet. Makes sense, pretty common sense. If you put the same amount of pressure behind something, one's heavier, one's lighter, the one that's heavier is probably going to get pushed slower than the one that's lighter. So when you put a can or a silencer on the barrel of your 300, it's very, very quiet because the heavier bullet only comes out at about 1,000 feet per second. 1,000 feet per second makes it subsonic. I don't know the exact formula. I was just talking about it, and I had the speed down. But in general terms, usually under 1,000 feet per second is going to be subsonic. And subsonic rounds work with a silencer, a noise silencer, better. Or a noise suppressor, or a can is what a lot of people call it, because the 300 Blackout is very quiet. Now I've heard, and I don't know how much truth there is, the 300 Blackout become popular because the SEALs wanted a bigger bullet. They still wanted the AR platform because they knew how to use it, they're familiar with it, they could take it down, they could fix it, they could work on it, it's all the same. But they wanted to shoot a 30 caliber bullet because most of their shit was close in, clearing houses, and they were making a lot of their shots when they're moving within 200 yards because if they were over 200, 300, they're probably going to either avoid them or move around them or wait till they get closer. So the 300 Blackout supposedly was designed for them, and it became popular because the SEALs use it. It must be great. Well, look, the SEALs have a lot of money, and they do a lot of training, and they got a lot of trial and error, and they have time and expenses to test stuff. So if they say something's good, it's probably good, but you never know how the politics are in the military. You know, some captain likes it, the colonel don't like it, and all the troops hate it, but the colonel likes it, so therefore it gets adapted. So you can't always go with the theory because the SEALs use it, they must love it. So the 300 Blackout, it suppresses very well, and I'm probably going to end up getting a silencer for this gun, and then that way I will put the silencer on this barrel, and I will never have to worry about changing the can or where it goes, etc. It will be on this barrel. It'll be on the upper. When I want to shoot it, I'll throw it on any AR platform, load 300 ammo in my M16 or AR magazines, and I'm good to go. And again, why the pig hunters like the 300 here in Texas is it's a heavier round and it's very quiet. So if you shoot that, a subsonic round, you can still take a pig out 100, 200 yards pretty easy. You start getting out 300, there's people that'll tell you, oh, 300's fine, 400's fine. I'm in the impression from what I've talked to people, learned, read up on, about 300 is about the most I'm going to be probably confident that I'm going to hit what I do and take something down. Because this thing, it's a heavier bullet, and I think it's only going, well, if it's subsonic, it's going under 1,000 feet per second. So if you're pushing a 200 grain bullet at 1,000 feet per second, that's almost what you're doing with a 45 handgun. Now, granted, you got a longer barrel, so you're going to pick up some more speed and pressure for a longer time down the barrel, but a 45 shoots a 230 grain bullet, and it shoots at about 900 to 1,000 feet per second. So now, granted, a 45 isn't a rifle round with a pointed nose, so this is going to get a little bit more distance than a 45 and be a little bit more accurate per se, but the bullet is still dropping fairly quickly. But, you know, it's a heavy bullet, so when it hits something, it's going to take them out. Now, you can get the 300 and not subsonic, and it comes out at 2,000, 2,050 feet per second or whatever the numbers are on a high end. And now if you got a heavier bullet going at that speed, you're doing pretty good. I still don't think it's as fast as the AK round. The AK is a little bit faster, and I think it's a better performer than the 300, but you have it doesn't fit in the, you know, the AR platform. If you start doing that, then you got to change magazines. It's like making an M16 or an AR or an M4 into shooting 22. You got to have different mags. You got to have different bolts. You got to have different this, different that. But you can use the same barrel if you go to 22 with a 5.56. I think, unless that's changed. I'm sure somebody will correct me if that's wrong. So why get a 300? The reason why I got it is, one, I want a good suppressed gun. I want a close-in gun for 200 yards or better. Most of the time running around my farm out here, if I need to do something, it's going to be within 200 to 300 yards. If the wild pigs come in, this is going to have a lot more knockdown than my 5.56 would. If I have to do something in a house or defend my house or do some sort of op, and it's a close-in clearing buildings, urban environment to where I'm not out in the open taking long-distance shots, this is probably a better gun to have, and it's quieter because when you put a can on it, if you're shooting subsonic ammo, nobody's going to hear you when you shoot until you get hit with a bullet. So real quick on subsonic and sonic, what people don't understand is when a bullet comes out of a silencer on the end of a gun, even though you have a silencer, it may be quiet for you when you fire it, but the bullet, once it breaks the sound barrier, you're going to get basically a mini sonic boom, and that crack you hear in a bullet, that that's the sound barrier being broken by the bullet. And bullets that shoot over 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 feet per second, you're going to get that loud crack and bang and noise, even if you have a silencer on it. Now, the person may not hear that crack until the bullet goes by them, passes them, or hits them, but they're going to hear it, or their buddies are going to hear it. You may not hear it and think it's quiet, but they're going to hear it. So just because you have a silencer on a gun and you put regular hot ammo in it, it doesn't silence the bullet. The bullet's still breaking that sound barrier when it's cutting through the air. Now, the air on whether it's hot or cold is another factor. You can shoot a little bit faster, I think, in hotter air than you can in cold air. Cold air is more dense. Therefore, to break the sound barrier, it's a little bit harder, or it moves. Which one is it? I can't remember offhand. So anyway, the air and the pressure, hot air is thinner. The bullet goes through it easier. So I think you're going to get the sonic boom on lower speeds when it's warm and on heavier speeds when it's hot, or vice versa. You can research it if you're really concerned about it, but just be aware that there is a difference in the sound barrier depending on the temperature of the air and the density. If it's hot and humid, the air is thin or hot, and then if it's cold, the air is more dense, and that will change the sound barrier. So again, 300 Blackout. Why did I get this stupid barrel? I don't know, because I'm a big dummy. Did I need it? No. So, what? Well, I guess I'll just take a look at it real quick with you. It's basically got the, I haven't put any other sights on it except the, I laser sighted it and bore sighted it. It's got this little, I think they call it a car or cat, KAK or something. This type of thing isn't really a flash suppressor. Most of your ARs have a flash suppressor and it disperses the flash so it can't be seen as far away. So if I shoot at you and you're far away, you can't really pinpoint where I'm at because this will break up the flash. You can still see it and it'll give you an idea, but if you're pretty far out, it's not going to be crystal clear. So there's flash suppressors and then there's noise suppressors. This is kind of a semi-noise suppressor for the shooter. 300 Blackout makes a pretty good sound when you shoot it. And this supposedly traps that sound and shoots it forward so you don't get the percussion and the sound so much as the shooter. Now obviously when I get my silencer, I'm going to just unscrew this and then screw on my silencer and then not worry about it. But again, even if I have a silencer on here and I shoot faster than 1,000 feet per second, I'm still going to get the sonic boom and it's not going to be as quiet. Under 1,000 feet, I'm going to be good to go. So a lot of people want to go out and get a silencer and think it's in the movies and you're going to have a nice quiet gun because you went out and paid $1,100 for a silencer, when in fact, unless you're shooting slower ammo, and if we know remember our ammo stuff, slower bullets don't go as far. They don't go as straight as long. Gravity affects them quicker. And you don't have the distance on slower bullets that you do on a faster bullet. Now, I know there's going to be somebody here. Well, that's not true because whatever. You can argue about freaking whether water's wet. I'm just telling you, that's my take on the 300. That's why I got it. For $300, I figured, what the hell? Basically, I get another gun that I can shoot a bigger bullet out of it. And it gives me the versatility of, if I need the knockdown power and I don't need to reach out and touch somebody, I can slip that on. If I need a quiet gun, I can slip that on with a can and shoot my subsonic ammo. If I need to reach out a little bit farther and I need a little bit more knockdown, then I can shoot the other ammo. So all kind of variables. And, again, the AR platform was designed to shoot out of a 20-inch barrel. So when you're shooting your 5.56 and you're reading the ballistics on that and it's saying, 3,200 feet per second, that's on a 20-inch barrel normally. You're not going to get that on a 16 or 14-inch barrel. And most ARs are, I would say 16 is the most common length of barrel. So you're not going to get that 3,200 feet per second. You're going to lose a significant amount. I'd almost say you're down to 27, which is, 500 feet per second, which is pretty significant. And, so, I mean, that's... the shorter the barrel, the slower your bullet's going to come out. And where that matters is if you try to reach out and touch somebody at 600 yards with a 5.56 in a 14-inch barrel, and people are going to tell you, well, the maximum effective range, 460 meters over 5. Yeah, they may tell you all that, but they're talking about a 20-inch barrel with so much ammo. You start changing the weight of an ammo, you're shooting at green tips, 62 grain, that's a heavier bullet. That's not going to go as far. Now somebody's gonna say, well, you can hop that up. If you reload, you can put more pressure, you can get that distance, you can, if and buts of coconuts, you can do all that. But I'm just telling you, most people are shooting factory ammo, and you need to be aware that the shorter the barrel, the less you're getting your velocity you're losing. And when you lose velocity, you lose distance, and you lose accuracy because gravity affects the bullet quicker, and it starts falling more. So you're gonna be aiming higher than you would normally aim. If you thought you had a 1-inch drop at 200 or 300 meters, you're going to need to aim a little bit higher and compensate for maybe a 2-inch drop because you have a shorter barrel. Or if you have a shorter barrel and a heavier bullet, you may have a 3 or 4-inch drop at 300. So you need to know your gun. I mean, it's not critical. You can Kentucky windage it. You can shoot, and if it hits the guy's feet and he looks down and you see a puddle of dust, you're shooting too freaking low. So if you were aiming at his chest and it's hitting him in the toes, then you aim 8, 10, 12 inches above his head, and it'll probably hit him in the head or in the chest. So you can always Kentucky windage it if you can see where your bullets are at, but if you're shooting far enough, you don't know. So again, you know, a lot of things. I picked up the barrel. I figured I'd talk about it because the 300 Blackout, everybody's been trying to get me to get one for years, saying how great it is and wonderful. And I'm just like, man, I don't want to buy another AR with a different round. Now I have to get, you know, 10,000 rounds because I like having at least 10,000 rounds with each gun I have for the caliber. And I just really don't want to go out and buy 10,000 rounds of ammo for a 300 Blackout. So I went ahead and broke down and got this gun. Went to the gun store today, and they had a gun show in Louisville, and they had some of this 300 Blackout that was on sale, pretty good. He didn't charge me tax, and I went, okay, I'll take that. I think it was 115 bucks for, hell, I don't know, whatever's in there, 200, 400 rounds, whatever. It come out to under, I think, 60 cents a round. I normally don't like paying over 50 cents a round, but you know what? I was like, I don't have any ammo and I got to shoot this thing. I want to strap it on. I want to see what it, you know, what it does. Take it out there, run it through my shooting drill and see if I can jam it. See if the another problem with the slower 300, a lot of people will experience jams when they're shooting a subsonic round out of the 5.56 platform without a can. The can will increase your pressure because it's grabbing the gas and noise, and that's going to increase your pressure as it comes out. So when you're shooting 1,000 feet per second round out of your AR, you may experience failure to load your second round or failure to eject because you're not getting enough pressure because you don't have a can. So if you go out and you get a can, you get an AR, and you shoot it without the can, you're like, holy shit, this thing isn't functioning. What's wrong? Put your can back on and shoot the same ammo, and it'll probably function correctly. The slower ammo, again, the 300 was kind of made for suppression. It was like designed around being quiet. We want a quiet gun that shoots a 30 caliber bullet with some knockdown power in close quarters, 100, 150 meters. And they went, you know what? How about a 300 Blackout? It'll do everything that you can do in your AR. You don't have to change anything. It'll take all the optics, rail. Everything's the same except for the barrel. You use the same magazine, same bolt, same trigger, same safety. Ooh, gotta have the same safety. Ooh, yay! Safety Sally's will be all happy I mentioned safety. Oh, by the way, that freaking gun ain't loaded because it ain't got a lower for some idiot. He didn't show us the gun was cleared before he started, and he's got live ammo. Oh my God, shut up, you big pussies. All right, we'll end that there on 300 Blackout, the ammo, silencer, speed, distance, speed of sound, all kind of shit. You guys can clear up everything I screwed up in the comments like you normally do. If I really screw up and you put good corrections, I'll add it in the description so someone else that comes here later and watches a video a year or two from now, they can read the description, and instead of filtering through 200, 300 comments, I'll usually update the description and try if I can remember if I got time. And then that way it makes it a more informative and educational video. All right? No bullets were harmed in the filming of this video. Eye protection was encouraged but wasn't used. Whatever. All right, we'll end that there.